Rambles.
Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of Hand Rambles. I'm here with Oliver from Oliver J Photography. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
I am Oliver Jenkins. That's what the J is for, everyone. Wedding photographer. No newborns anymore. I'll leave that to you. I live in a little town called Llanelli, South Wales.
And would you like to spell that for our non-Welsh?
Llanelli.
And how did we meet? Well, this is actually our first face-to-face-ish meeting. So
Absolutely.
aren't you all very
Everybody who watches this meeting us at the same time.
at the same time we are. Yeah, I think we've been chatting for like quite a few years though.
A while. Yeah, we're like Insta buddies. Call you my Insta mother. Obviously, being a wedding photographer is a very people-facing job, right? Very public, very out there, very on the mean streets of South Wales and beyond. Dealing with people, photographing them, being in the thick of it. Dealing with people at weddings has taught me so much about people and about how to deal with people, from helping them helping a bride in the morning put a dress on, to liaising with wedding suppliers and organisers and the venue and coordinators especially. I think that's quite a unique set of skills that someone develops, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I remember the very first wedding I did back when I was doing weddings. I said to the groom, "I'm so nervous." And he was like, "Yeah, me too." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry. Your day.
What am I doing?
Not mine." Obviously that was not the right thing to say here, but over the years I definitely learned the right things to say and what not to say.
The dynamic between working with videographer on the wedding day and the bridesmaids is obviously completely different. And you need to be able to think quite quick on your feet on how you approach these things and getting things done. Timings on a wedding is everything. So when you arrive to the venue or the bride's house or whoever, wherever the bride prep's going on, from that point, you've got your day laid out ahead of you in your head, and you've got to get these people at the points that you need to. So coercing, shall we say, people into, putting their dresses on, getting ready for the cars, getting people into the church, out of the church or wherever, confetti shots, dealing with them, it can be a challenge. Normally a lot of alcohol involved, 10 a.m. I'm totally fine with that, obviously. It's always fun.
I totally agree. And you always leave a wedding with a good story. It could be nothing to do with the wedding, like at all, but it could be something that's happened to you or something you've witnessed. And you always leave a wedding with a good story.
Yeah, a little bit of goss goes a long way at a wedding. We see a lot of weddings, so when anything gets a little hairy, shall we say, we're like, ooh.
Spill the tea, Oliver, spill the tea.
No tea, no shake, no pink lemonade. So many times I've been like doing a wedding, and it's been like, especially when it's summertime and you do these weddings in like these marquees with like the see-through paneling.
Oh yeah.
And the sun shines through, and they've like brought the wedding cake, and they've plonked it in the room in front of this plastic paneling, and the sun's coming through, and like the cake has just gone. Did one, and it was a beautiful day, and it was boiling hot, and they had this massive cake. It was huge. They'd put it in the room, and the back had started to melt because it was all like flakes of chocolate and like little. It was amazing cake, and it all just started to slide down like that. And no one had noticed until just before everybody was due to go into the room. So it was like, uh-oh.
Got to get your angles right.
But that comes back to people skills, I think, and dealing with something like that then, and coordinators losing their head, and they're like, oh my god, it just ruined the wedding cake. And I'm like, okay, this is how we're going to deal with this.
Yeah, sometimes you definitely have to take charge.
Yeah, and that's what I tend to do. If everybody's been to a wedding with me, they'll know that I tend to take charge. Hence let me go get it for you. My boss man.
I love that.
I'm like, I'm the boss. everybody look at me. I always have like a laugh with the couples. I always have a laugh with their guests. They start to trust you and they want you. You know, even you start that first thing in the morning. Everybody's so nervous and they don't know. Like, it's all right for us. We've done this like a million times. Most of these people have never done it before. They don't know what's going on. They haven't got a clue what's going to happen. You know, it's just like a fantasy in their head that will play itself out. And you've got to be there and fulfill that fantasy. How you hit the mark first thing in the morning carries through the rest of the day then.
And the thing they're going to look back on are the photos.
You've got to arrive there. You've got to bring the energy. You walk through the door. You're like, hello, I'm here.
I've got it under control.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And when you become that confident person in the room for everyone, it makes a difference. And all of a sudden they can go, oh, it's okay. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You can just sit back, enjoy. And I tell all my clients that as well. Like, you enjoy. You get married, have a party, and you get pissed. Like, you do that. I will do everything else. If you want something, tell me, I'll go do it. And that goes a long way as well with people.
You're not just there to take photos, you're there to capture the memories and to make sure that you're able to do that in a way that's not going to stress your couple out and not going to cause any negative energy throughout the day, and
disperse their fears. And reassure them that, it is scary, it is nervous, but it's so exciting, it's so lovely and amazing, and like all those emotions, you got to kind of just stop it from boiling over a bit, and just be there for people, and and everything's getting a bit mental and things start overrunning and the timings, and the bride needs to get a dress on or whatever, or the mother of the bride still isn't ready, or most of the time the father of the bride is nowhere near ready, or is ready like hours in advance and then just sweats in his suit all morning. Dealing with that, like, I know how to put a wedding dress on, I know how to do the buttons up, I don't even need that little hook thing to put the hook and eye thing through. I can just like with my fingernails, go. Knowing how to do the layers of a dress underneath the dress, pulling them through, ready to go down the aisle and stuff. Little things like that. Again, gives confidence in your couples and the people around you.
They have to trust you so much that they're letting you go onto their dress.
They love it.
I think it's really good, like, having your couples feel so confident in someone. They put so much trust in you to capture this day and keep things under control, and I think you do that amazingly, and you've only had great things said about you.
I always say it, and it's probably like a cliche for us photographers to say it, but I honestly do have the best couples. They're all my type of people. We always have a laugh. Even before the day of the wedding, I am messaging them. We have little meetups, we have FaceTimes, text, DMs, Instagram. They see me living my life on Instagram. They feel comfortable with me by the time their wedding comes around. And you develop that bond with them at a very early stage, that by the time it comes to the wedding, they are so happy and comfortable with you that that actually promotes great pictures as well.
Yeah, absolutely, because there's less tension. You can really tell when someone is feeling really tense in photos, and if you can eliminate
body language.
And I think you do that really well. And I also think that your clients are attracted to you because they know who you are. You wouldn't get clients that weren't your couples if you weren't sort of showing yourself, and you might end up getting couples that aren't sort of on the same page, or the styles slightly different if you weren't so approachable and so open and like unapologetically you. You are, my friend. And I love it.
Me? I'm so shy.
So can you tell me about your first meeting with your couples? How does that usually go?
Obviously, this day and age, it's through emails and stuff. So initially, like an email inquiry will come through. Because I have clients who live all over the world sometimes. So you can't just, nip down to Costa and have a chat. So it's going to be like FaceTimes. Like I've done FaceTimes at like stupid o'clock in the morning or stupid o'clock at night, because people live like Australia, and that's very daunting as well for people when they, you've got to sit there, like what we're doing now, we're just talking to screens. So and it's so different from talking face to face with people. You're only seeing from here. You've got to read me from here. When in the flesh, you can see how relaxed their legs are, if they're laying back in a chair more, are they hunched forward, what are their arms doing here, what are they doing with their hands, you know? So the body language thing is a lot easier to deal with in real life. So when it comes to Skype meetings, FaceTimes, things like that, it is daunting. It's daunting for me because I don't know what that person's going to be like the other side of the phone. And they only have so much of an idea of me beforehand. So we'll have the call and everything. And again, it's like rocking up to a wedding. When you rock up to that interview, you bring the energy and you just be there for them, and you be there for their questions and their nerves and their fears and everything they're unsure about. You've got to have confidence in yourself and your knowledge and what you can provide for them. If it's like, I don't know, say the final meeting before a wedding, even if I go to their houses, I always try, if I can go and see them face to face, I would always endeavour to do that because they need to see you.
Difference.
We talk, like if I'm going to do my wedding interview, we get the timings down and the places and everything. We'll talk for maybe 10 minutes about the wedding, and then it's all like dogs, holidays, going out, enjoying, watching Netflix. It's that we just become pals.
Yeah, and I think that is so important though, because same with like being in the birth space, like if I wouldn't want anyone in my birth space who I didn't connect with, and you really have to get on their level, and you can tell if a client is right for you and if you're right for them. To be honest, like if I'm not right for them, I wouldn't want to be in their birth space, because I know if I had someone in my birth space that made me uncomfortable, that would completely affect how I laboured and how I gave birth. And I guess in some sense it's the same with a wedding. If you've got someone there who you're not 100% comfortable with, it's going to affect how you are during the day.
I suppose it is like with doing the birth photography, that comes even more magnified when it comes down to it, because that is such an emotional time. It does feed into other things, I guess. And the same then with weddings, that when it feeds in, it will feed into the pictures. People, like we said about being relaxed and things, they probably wouldn't be as relaxed. They might be a little bit hunched in pictures. They might feel a bit awkward. They might not want to kiss their partner because they're too conscious of you watching. They won't invest their time in the wedding and the photos because the photographer might not be investing their time in it and themselves in it. Most of my weddings, I'll cry at them because I am there with them and I'm living it with them because I am invested my time, but my emotions in that as well. I feel it, like I love it, being with them and their families and celebrating it with them and being a part of it, you know. It's amazing. So to be able to be that person and live it with them it's special. It's very, very special. And you must get that, like when but 100 times more intense when like a child is born.
I always cry. Hannah, stop, because I can't see what I'm doing. Stop it. It's obvious from listening to you talking that it's about the couples for you. I mean, obviously this is a business and we get paid and that's a bonus, but to be honest, for me as well, like that's the bonus part. I do it because I care about these people, and I get the same vibe with you. And that's just something that is really special and that you need to be able to connect with your clients and your couples on a personal level. So nice.
Sweet. It's special, and like all my couples, I always remain friends with them afterwards. Like I see them out half the time. Like if I got like Swansea couples and I'm on a night out in Swansea, I'll see most of them out, and then I'm getting pissed with them then, you know, and they love that. On the wedding day, it's terrible. The bridesmaids like, oh my God, have a glass. I'm like, oh no.
Like when I used to do weddings, they were like, hey, come do a shot with us, and I'm like, babe, if I smell alcohol or even talk about it, I will be plastered. I cannot.
You're a total lightweight, are you?
I can't. Just talking about it, I feel a bit tipsy. They're like, come on, and I'm like, but you want good photos, so no.
I did a wedding in December, and they were fantastic, and they were party animals. But the bride was like coming up to you, she's like, Oliver, I got you this glass of wine, come on, drink it, neck it. I'm like, I can't. It comes back to all that we've been talking about, how you are with your clients. I suppose that's like speaks volumes then, and if they're trying to put drinks in your hand, it's because they completely do trust you, and they want that vibe that you've been giving off the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's a really good thing.
Mm.
Not the alcoholism. I just mean it's,
No.
it's a good thing that your clients trust you so much and that they love you. And I think that's really obvious. We got married in November 2017 in New Zealand. We were going over there to visit my brother and his fiance, and we didn't tell anyone we were getting married. We literally did it all over email, and it was like weirdly easy. So like, I don't know if we're actually married. No, I'm kidding. We're definitely married. It literally was done all over email, and we felt so comfortable.
The dynamic was smooth.
And we like definitely got the right kind of feel, and I think you can tell in emails as well. And obviously it's harder to get the tone through an email or text, but it wasn't like, to whom this may concern, blah blah blah. We felt comfortable meeting up with a stranger, taking us in a helicopter and going up to a mountain, and then getting married and then coming back down. It was awesome. It was really cool.
That's like another skill again, is learning how to converse with people through words and still be you and remain you, even in these little words that you write in, you know, and giving off the vibe. Emojis are very important to me in my business.
We can see your emojis from your, here we go. I love this picture of you, and that also is very important, to have a profile picture that represents you well, like represents you and your personality well, because obviously
like one of the very first things that people see, so it is very important that you give off that vibe.
They'll have this idea of what you're like from your picture and from your emails and from how you represent yourself. Online.
When I get an inquiry through, I have like a little box where I ask people to write down how they heard of me and stuff like that. And it's always word of mouth, 100%. And obviously that's amazing.
Well, where can people find you? On Instagram and your website? Look how cute you are. Oh, look.
There I am.
Beautiful. Oh, you look like this is a piano and you're about to drop drop some sort of jazz ballad. Look at you. Oh, I'm thinking of these lyrics. I'm thinking about how I'm going to make you love me.
You know what I tell people sometimes? They're like, oh, but what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor of love. And they're like, okay.
I didn't know where that was going. And I was so happy it went in that direction. And your website, here we go.
www.oliverjphotography.com.
Stunning.
I've had that quote for years. I love it.
Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for asking me. It's been a lovely little catch up.
Sure, it's been lovely. Catch up is like our person.
Loved rambling with you.
Oh, good. You know, actually, while I was deciding what I wanted this little section to be, I was like, oh, maybe I could call it hand chat. Trying to think of like a jingle, and I was singing, and I was like, well, that sounds like I'm saying hand chats, so I'm going to change it. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Hand Rambles.